Have you ever had to call someone's name across the room and speak louder, but something stopped you? Maybe you just knew your voice wasn't going to travel that distance, or something more of a mental block or emotional block that stopped you from doing so? If the answer is yes, I want to share with you that there is such a thing as fear of speaking loud, and it has something to do with both our vocal and physical ability and our mental and emotional ability, allowing ourselves to feel heard, to feel seen, allowing ourselves to take up our space in the world. Because this is a common struggle, I want to share with you a powerful transformational story of a client who overcame her fear of speaking loudly and embraced not only her right to be heard, but perceived it as a gift to be shared so that people can benefit from it as well. But hey, if this is your first time here, I'm your favorite inhibited voice recovery coach, Hussam. I help people go from socially anxious to socially confident through healing their voice physically and psychologically at the root cause. This is something that I struggled with for over 2 decades, and I finally learned sustainable ways to overcome it. And now I'm sharing these solutions with so many people as well. Make sure to join my free mini course, link in the bio, to learn the foundations for a healthy voice. And if you feel ready to speak with confidence for life, find yourself securing a complimentary call and I'll speak to you personally. Now if that sounds like a good deal, please smash the like and subscribe button if you haven't already. And with that, let's dive in. I recently worked with a client who had a deep-seated fear and discomfort from speaking loudly. It showed up in her life when she was playing soccer, and she had to shout out directives to her teammates. During the game, someone asked her to speak louder, which made her even more self-conscious about her inability to speak loud. In our coaching session together, we worked on her voice first, the physical aspect of her voice, and used dialed-in vocal exercises, and we were able to raise her volume from 5 out of 10 to 7 out of 10. And the quality of that louder volume from 7 out of 10 to 8 out of 10. Now that's a great permanent and sustainable improvement to be achieved in one sitting. But to get even more sustainable and reliable results, we have to dig deeper. You see, it's not just about the physical voice. As we explored this further, we discovered that there was a deeper fear in there. We traced this fear back to a memory from when she was 7 years old. Her mom would speak loudly, and whenever, as a young girl, she tried to express her needs or speak louder to get her needs met and be seen and heard, her mother would get even more nervous, loud, and angry. Her mother would pace back and forth in a panicked kind of way. For a child that's only 7 years old, her mother seemed so big and so threatening. And those reprimands felt like a nightmare that never ends. And that was the root cause of her unprocessed emotions and unresourceful beliefs that kept being triggered in her adult life. As an adult, she had trouble making herself known and stating her needs and utilizing a louder vocal volume. She feared she would be reprimanded or face more negative reactions if she did so. So she learned to stay small, to avoid revealing her authentic expression, her wants and needs. This turmoil of fear of reprimand became stuck in her nervous system, even into adulthood, even when she was around people who were completely safe. Her body was programmed to feel that fear when it comes to expressing her needs. The harsh reprimands from her childhood had left a lasting impact. Her nervous system would react with extreme sensitivity in a way that doesn't make sense. But when we look deeper, we realize how it all makes complete and perfect sense. So for a solution, we utilized a powerful life coaching technique to neutralize that memory completely by extracting the deeper spiritual lessons from it and understandings. We transformed the memory from stifling, unresourceful experience into something that added to her character, bringing out her deeper compassion for that younger 7-year-old, providing her with a sense of safety and security that was lacking at the time, yet was deeply needed for her development. From there, she was able to breathe more deeply and feeling more secure and relaxed, which helped her gain wisdom and understanding on the lack of skill that her mom had, which gave her more innate strength and firm yet kind assertiveness to reframe her position in that moment. By processing the intense and persistent emotional charge that was blocking her from moving forward, that was associated with that memory, she's now realizing that she is an adult and she can feel safe when expressing her needs. No longer did she need to revert back to that 7-year-old anytime she had to speak up. Now to an important concept I spoke about in the last video. The primitive part of our brain is designed to protect us at all costs. And it can overreact to perceived danger, thinking it's real danger, and it can overreact to emotions in the body, thinking it's also danger. As if a real lion is about to pounce on us, triggering a fight or flight response, which tightens our muscles and inhibits our voice. But the truth is, emotions aren't dangerous, and screaming out directives during a soccer game is not really dangerous. It could be a perceived danger to the primitive part of the brain only, and based on past programming. So we can teach that primitive part of the brain that it's only perceived danger. It's okay to feel emotions that may arise. Emotions are not dangerous. They are not a lion about to pounce on us. And also, we can feel completely safe and secure. Just by speaking to the primitive part of the brain in this manner, you see, we are not one whole unit. We have systems in our body, our physical body, and we have systems in our psychological mind. And we can reparent some of those systems, one of which is the primitive part of our brain. When it overreacts, we can speak to it kindly and say, this is not real danger, it's only perceived danger, and you're totally safe and secure. I like to call that primitive brain retraining or primitive brain reparenting. So now my client knows that she made a huge progress in neutralizing this experience and turning it into something resourceful, but also she has the knowledge that even if shadows of that old fear arise, she can gently remind herself that, hey, it's not real danger, it is just perceived danger, and we are totally safe to express ourselves, to take our space in the world, and to have our needs met. Lastly, we had to address a remaining part of that memory, a part that had more resistance to be let go of because it felt familiar. Oftentimes, we stay stuck in unresourceful patterns simply because they have become too familiar and we don't know how to let go of them. She had grown used to this fear and didn't realize a better alternative was possible. We worked through this by reaffirming that part of her mind, that she can make herself known, she can state her needs, and she doesn't need to fear negative reactions anymore. It is very important to note that all this happens while we accessed her unconscious mind. As Einstein said, no problem can be solved at the same level of consciousness it was created. So problems that were created as a coping mechanism by the conscious mind, we have to go deeper into the unconscious mind to actually create lasting and permanent change. So how do we tap into our unconscious mind? We have to go into deeper wavelengths of our brain, using techniques like slowing down the breath and breathing more deeply, relaxing the muscles of the head, the throat, and the rest of the body, and shifting your attention from your head and to your heart. This shift helps us move from beta brainwaves, which are associated with heightened alertness, to deeper wavelengths like alpha, theta, and even delta, where we can create lasting and permanent change. By the end of the transformation, that fear and tension in her belly, the nausea, the nervousness, and the inhibition in her throat were all replaced with a sense of inner calm and strength. She felt more relaxed, present, and emboldened to voice her needs. She learned that not everyone will react like my mom did when I was 7. This awareness allowed her not only to regulate herself in certain situations, but to also feel totally relaxed and comfortable while doing so, knowing that the emotions that arise are safe to feel and are not really dangerous. It's important to realize that while psychological work is essential, it's only 50% of the equation. The other 50% is physical voice retraining, so that we activate parts of the voice and tonalities that haven't been used for a long time. In a way, certain parts of our voice that were suppressed have atrophied and need to be brought back to life, to be relieved of their tension and to be strengthened to produce relaxed expression. This twofold approach is what has gotten me lasting sustainable results and what has been getting my clients lasting and permanent results as well. Your voice is more than just a sound. It is your presence in the world. It is your persona. When you overcome the fear of being heard, you not only reclaim your voice, you reclaim who you really are. It's about giving your authentic self permission to be heard. It's about honoring your emotions and using them as a guide, not to make damage in your life, but to make improvements in your life. And finally, to stand confidently in your own truth, which is not only deeply beneficial for you, but for everyone around you. Your voice is the primary way for the world to receive the gifts you have to offer, and it's so important to pay attention to it. I hope you found this video helpful and inspiring. If you did, please smash the like and subscribe button if you haven't already. Leave a comment, let me know what you think. If you have any questions that I can potentially answer, join my free mini course, link in the bio, to learn the foundations for a healthy voice, physically and psychologically. And if you need to fast track your results, find yourself securing a complimentary call and I'll speak to you personally. With that, stay well, much love. I'll see you in the next video.